Why do we settle for good enough? As we go through life, we tell ourselves, here's the person that I want to be, yet often in life we don't become that person. We become somebody that's kind of good enough. We can look at our goals that we set in life in two ways. One, the goal that we set, and two, kind of that good enough goal that we're willing to live with. As I may have talked about earlier, if you look at our weight, we set a weight goal, and then we typically weigh 10 to 15 pounds more than that weight goal. So really our good enough goal is 10 to 15 pounds different than that ideal goal we set. Why do we settle for good enough? Well, as we wander through life, our environment tends to make us become it. And let's look at the role that our environment plays with us that causes this to happen two ways. One, we're going to look at positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and then we're going to look at toward our goal and away from our goal. We'll pick a simple topic like working out. Well, once you're in kind of good enough shape, number one, are you getting encouragement from your environment to work out? Well, probably not. You're not going to get fired if you don't work out. People think you look fine. You get reasonable compliments. People are going to say, oh, no, you're fine. Not a lot of encouragement to go out and go that extra mile. That's why people hire personal trainers. Why do so many people in Hollywood have a personal trainer? They have a personal trainer for a reason. They need one. Why do they need one? They realize nobody in their environment is going to encourage them to work out. And if they don't have a personal trainer, it's strictly up to them, and they probably won't do it. The second thing it pushes in the right direction is discouragement for not working out. That's discouragement for negative behavior. Well, if you think about it, you get almost none of that. You say, I'm not going to work out today. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to bring it up. And you're not going to get much message. The next one is encouragement for negative behavior. And we get a lot of that. For example, oh, you don't really need to do that today. Oh, you're fine. In fact, why don't you do this? Why don't we go bowling? Or why don't we do something that requires no activity? Or why don't we just sit around and drink beer and play cards? We often get encouragement from the world around us for doing behavior that is inconsistent with us becoming the way we want to be. And then finally, if we look at our environment, this is discouragement for positive behavior. That is actually discouraging us for doing something good. You know, you don't need to do that. It's a waste of time. What happens is, as we look through life, we're being encouraged by our environment. We're being discouraged by our environment. We're pushing toward the person we want to be. We're pushing away from the want to be. Two things. One, you need to create an environment that's going to encourage you to do what you know you need to do. That's why you get a personal trainer. Encourage you to do it. You need to get an environment that gives you negative feedback when you don't do it. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you working out? You also need to look at the opposite. You don't want to be around people who encourage you to do the wrong things. For example, unfortunately, if you take people that have drug problems, you put them back into the same community, what happens? The entire reinforcement system pushes them to be who they used to be. They're encouraged to do the wrong thing, take drugs. They're discouraged from doing the right thing, which is not take drugs. And what happens is eventually the environment kind of wins. So if you want to become a different person, a better person, in your own mind, and it's not my place to tell you what that is, look at your environment. What is pushing me in the right direction in a positive way? And what's pushing me back in the right direction when I'm doing something wrong? And the opposite, what's encouraging me to go the wrong direction? And then what is discouraging me from going in the right direction? A quick environmental analysis will probably help you explain why you're not becoming the person you want to become and why the environment is controlling you as opposed to you are controlling it.